the game of basketball at this time of the year is the details and it's the small plays, right? And we had opportunities to be able to make some of those plays that we've made in the past. We just didn't make it. We got to be a little bit better at the free throw line in these games. And we're not going to win a lot of games if Reggie, AJ, and Rasheed are 3 for, 21, in that situation. So I'm proud of my guys. I'm proud of the fight that they had, still trying to be able to come up with a stop, still give ourselves opportunities. Those free throws at the end of the game are not why we lost the game. They're not. It's so many plays that's within the game where we have breakdowns that makes those plays. So Beadle, I know he was upset about the misses, but we're not in the game if he's not making those plays throughout the game for us. And we all know that as a staff, and the passion for him to want to win, the will for him to want to win, just comes out in emotion in that moment. But proud of my guys. We'll have another chance to play them next week. And we have a big one. All of them are big, here at home on Saturday.
Coach, you've been in a lot of one possession, 7-point games throughout the year. Obviously, you want to come on the other side of this, but what can you take from a loss like this going into the rest of the last 3 games that you have this year?
Yeah, just late game executions wise on the defensive side of the basketball. Then we just had some breakdowns of communication. And that's something where we got to be able to be on point. And we can rep that in practice. We can do those things in walkthroughs and shoot-arounds. And us as coaches making sure we getting those guys saying the right things. If they're saying the right things, then most of the times I say, do what you say. Say what you're doing, right? And we try to rep those things over and over. Just in the game, we got to be a little bit better than that next time.
I know hindsight can be 20/20, but AJ on that play under a minute when he had the big on him decided to take the 3. Is that kind of what you were looking for? Or?
Yeah, we want him to make a play, right? We trust those guys. He's made plays driving to the basket. He's made plays off of the bounce as well. I'm one of the ones I'm not calling timeout in that situation because I don't want him to change defense or change the lineup. We had a good matchup. I told him we're living with the results of that shot. And if he feels like he has opportunity to drive him, drive him, and even possessions before, we had driving kicks, Reggie wide open, She wide open. We had some that just went in and out for us. But, I wouldn't do anything differently, but let's make the shot. You know what I mean? But we want our guys to stay confident. Basketball is a game that these guys love to work on and love to play. Sometimes the ball doesn't go in. Right, but we can do a better job of preventing the ball to go in on the other side. We can get a couple more stops, we win the game.
These next 3 are obviously really big. There's still a lot to play for, obviously, with the standings and the conference and everything like that. Just how do you keep morale high, confidence high going into these last 3 games?
It's easy. You know what I mean? We got a bunch of competitors and dudes who probably want to play tomorrow if they could play, right? And that's the brand of basketball that we want to build. It's hard. People say it all the time to try to stay even keel. Because in the game, we've been in so many close games, we have to trust our guys. We have to trust the system, and they have to trust each other. So we'll just be looking forward to prepare and get ready to play on Saturday.
Questions for Josh?
Yeah, it's just 31 points had a big night. And obviously you won the ball in your hands in that last moment, and you got it, you got to the line. Just, I guess just your thoughts on, wanting to be in that situation, and sometimes it's going to work out, sometimes it isn't, and how do you feel about the outcome and the free throws?
I mean, obviously not the outcome that I wanted, but Coach gives us confidence. He gives us complete confidence. He tells us that we always will live with the result because of the work that we put in. So, I appreciate him trusting my work, and I trust my work. Sometimes the ball just doesn't roll, doesn't go in for you. So, next play.
Kind of the same question asking Coach. There's still a lot to play for this year. Just not putting this one behind you because you want to learn from it, obviously, but how do you get ready for the next one, keeping confidence high?
It kind of gives you more of an edge. Obviously it didn't go our way, but we see what we need to work on. Those free throws. That I know they didn't lose the game, so just seeing how we can improve. And I think tonight we didn't do too well on the defensive end, so locking in on that, that'll be our focus.
And just the amount of times you've come through this year in the clutch, would something like that deter you at all in the future from wanting the ball at the very end of the game?
No, not at all. Not at all. No. If I can, I have the ball in my hands every time. But I trust my other guys that play with me. So, just how it goes. But yeah, no, not at all.
as one of the leaders on this team, we mentioned some of the guys didn't have a great shooting night. As one of the leaders, just kind of how do you uplift those guys? Because you're going to need them coming down the stretch as well.
Not emphasizing the mistakes, not emphasizing the missed shots. It's always next play, next shot. Let's get a stop right here. And, if you're thinking about shots that you're missing or, the plays that you're not making, that's kind of selfish. And I think tonight our guys did a good job because no one was down. Nobody complained about missing shots. And, that's improvement from the beginning of this year.
For Coach, I thought they run some of the most complex offense that I think that we've seen here at the HTC Center, which is why they're one of the better offenses in the country. But you hold them to 67 points. Just what did you like about your team defensively and maybe some things you need to improve?
Yeah, I thought we guarded some of the actions. I think out of the ATOs, they burned us on a couple of them. That's just communication and like things that we have talked about. You got to be better than that. I thought it was a moment where they just threw the ball inside. It was no play. It was just throw it to big fella and let him go one-on-one. I think he scored 6 points in a row right there. Those are the plays where that's just for us. We try not to let that happen, right? It's no different than somebody taking you one-on-one and making a one-on-one play. You got to make multiple moves and then try to make a finish. But I thought we responded to that. I thought Jerry came in and gave us some good minutes, got us a defensive stop. I thought Derek was good and physical in there whenever Nadra got in foul trouble. And we're going to need all those guys to come in and make some plays. But, Preston has always done a great job of running a bunch of things. The thing we can do a little bit better is, ball pressure on them so they can't be able to just see all those options.
And then one of those guys was missing today, Braden. I know you mentioned yesterday that the team was battling a little illness. Is that what it was?
Yeah, he was under the weather. Hopefully, he wasn't even in the building. Stomach bug, just didn't feel well, so we decided to keep him at the house. But hopefully he can get better and he can recover quickly because we'll need him to play on Saturday and be available.
Speaking of Saturday, I know this one just got over, but the importance of Saturday and what it's going to take to come out with a win.
Yeah, all of them are important, and to be able to have a sweep against Marshall would be awesome, right? And to be able to, more importantly, win our last home game is going to be really, really important. We know the magnitude of the games and the games for seeding. We just tell them all the games are important. Every single year, every single game, I always say, this is the most important game. And that was on game 2, right? Because it's the one that's in front of us. We want our guys to be confident. We want them to know what they have to do and then go out and feel good about executing those things.
Josh, you've been through a number of senior days and watched your teammates go through them. What's this one going to mean to you now it's your senior day?
It's definitely a feeling. I don't know if it's a feeling that I want to feel yet, but it just goes to show like everything that that's going into this moment. The work from first day I stepped on a college campus. I think it's pretty important to see for my parents to see that, make them proud. Obviously, I got a few degrees, and on top of that, it was just I don't know. I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready.